Hello, welcome back to Leicester Fan TV. This is the Fox's Focus show. We're talking all things Leicester. And joining me, welcome back, Simon. Hello, Simon.
Hello, Jono. Back from my holidays. Good to be with you. Lots to talk about.
There is lots to talk about. We haven't been here for a few weeks, but we won't talk about since we've been away. That's already been talked to death. We'll just talk about the last few week or so. We'll start with the Charlton game. I mean, we know my opinions on it is I feel we played not very well, but look at Liverpool in their games. They played dreadfully against Newcastle, but they got a result. We played dreadfully against Charlton, but what I did like was the players put their bodies on the line and really put an effort in to get us those 3 points. And for Taru, what an absolute gem he is, isn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, he loves to cut in off that right-hand side across the 18-yard line and have a shot with his left foot at goal. There are a fair few of them that find the stand, but the one that finds the back of the net is usually an absolute screamer. Not dissimilar to 2 seasons ago, Jono, when he was doing similar things under Enzo Maresca. He was the difference. That little bit of brilliance for me at the weekend was the difference between 3 points and 1 point, because so far this season, obviously Charlton recently promoted. They've played quite a defensive game. They sit tight, they sit deep. They're difficult to break down, and I think that showed against us. You looked at the stats, we was having a lot of the possession, but we weren't creating a lot of chances. And I think Charlton did an honourable job of kind of negating our attacking threat until that piece of brilliance from Fatabu, and it earned us the 3 points. And I guess we needed them after that Preston disappointment.
Yeah, because we played poor against Preston, we needed a response, and we got a response in terms of the technicality. I thought we were still poor in a lot of areas, but I think what we did improve in is, I think, passion. I didn't see one player on that pitch walking. I didn't see one player on that pitch not caring. Hamza Chowdhury being a captain, in my eyes, he was, condoling players who made a mistake. He put his body on the line, was brilliant. And I know Charlton were a League One team last year, but that's the first time they've lost at their stadium all year in any competition. So to go there and rock up and get a point, we get 3 points, is massive. I don't care who you are. Any team going there is going to be a hard game for them. So we took it.
Yeah, it was a bit laboured, wasn't it, Jono? I mean, you wouldn't mark it down in your memory bank as being a vintage Leicester City performance. There's still a few grotty attitudes in and around the team for me, if I'm being honest with you. Yep. Some players that don't look like their heads are right. I'm absolutely desperate, personally, for this window to get shut. Hopefully with a couple of acquisitions before that happens, but I'm desperate for it to get shut, and for these players collectively to start to accept that they're at Leicester City at least until Christmas, and just knuckle down, put their own beliefs in their own ability and wherever they should or shouldn't be playing aside, and just get the hell on with it, because ultimately they're responsible for where we are, and it's now their very well paid job to get us back out of it. So that it's time to knuckle down for me, and I'm getting a little bit tired of some of the mardiness around some of our players. Just before we move on, Andy's just popped something in here, John. Look, evening to you, Andy. Skip needs not to play, not worth 25 million. I mean, there's a talking point from the weekend. He's obviously starting in midfield with Samara. John, what are you making of Oliver Skip this season?
He's useless. I don't feel confident with him in that role, because he makes quite a few mistakes, and when he loses that ball, they're in on goal. But as soon as Winks comes on, you see Winks getting the ball, dribbling up the field, getting the loose balls, passing it to the wingers. It seems a lot more solid with Winks in. I know Winks wasn't great last season in the Premier League, but he's a bloody good Championship player. On his day, he can probably play in most teams in the most lower league, most teams in the Premier League in the bottom half of the table. But Winks is so much better than Skip by a country mile. He just controls the midfield so much better.
I agree. and he's another one that looks absolutely miserable in a Leicester City shirt at the minute. And it's a bit of a yin and yang for me, because I absolutely agree with you that he improves the team when he plays. But it's also clear to me that the reason Cifuentes isn't starting him is because he's still sulking, and he's been sulking ever since Enzo Maresca left, 18 months, nearly, God knows how long ago. And he's also in the last year of his contract, Harry Winks.
I think players, like, I think there are certain clubs where players use their stepping stones to, smaller club to a good club to a great club. But players got to realise that this doesn't always work the way they want. They can't just think, oh well, if I play really well for 1 year, I can get the move. If we get relegated, I can get the move to go back up again by transfer. But it doesn't work like that. The club has you signed a contract. The club has every right to keep you. And if I my old job, if I got pissy and didn't work every time I didn't like it, I'll get sacked. But yes, there are other clubs that want you in the Premier League. Yes, you might get Premier League football, European football, but you're contracted to Leicester. Just smile, get on with it, and then when the window comes up open again, that's when you can get your transfer. But until that point, keep your head down.
I agree, and it's a £90,000 a week sulk as well. I wish I could have one of them. Anyway, I've made my point. let's move on.
It's not just him. It's Bilal, Woot. All those three players are sulking. Their head's not in it. Vestergaard's the only defender for me that's been I think it's been decent this season. I think, as a centre half, I thought he's been just keeping his head down, doing his thing.
Yeah, consistent. I think at Championship level, as he proved 2 seasons ago, Jono, Vestergaard is a very good player.
Yeah.
And I think the difference between Premier League and the Championship is that pace. When we're in the Premier League, he looks like he's running through quicksand against some of the players in that league. But you get that little bit more time in the Championship, and I think that's what makes the difference to Vestergaard. And to be fair, in an attacking way, he's contributed as well. So,
yeah,
he's useful, very useful for us in the Championship. I think Okoli's an honest player. I think he's made a few mistakes and looks a little bit harebrained at times. Some of the decision making he makes is not the best, but he means well. I think in the Championship they're good enough. I don't think we've got a problem at centre half for me.
No. Well, we're gonna, speaking of transfers, speaking of defenders, we've had more players leave. James Justin has been sold for. Is it 8 million with £2 million add-ons, or is it 10 million up front? I don't know. Either way, 10 million to going to Leeds. We've had Conor Cody going for 2 million. We've had who else has been? Mads Hermansen leaving. So good chunk of money coming in. I have seen some rumours, as Patrick has said. We're looking for another goalkeeper. I'm fed up with a side. We're not Chelsea. We're not having 7 goalkeepers. I hate having more than 3 goalkeepers on the books. I hate that. But we've sold a lot of players, and it's been rumoured. Well, it's been announced that the club has satisfied PSR. We've took away a lot of wages, especially with Vardy leaving. We've sold a few players, and for the first time in a while, I can say the club's done a good thing and said to people, we're not mugs. I'm fed up of people lowballing us and taking us for mugs. We want 35 million for Bilal. Take it, either pay that money up front or go away. And that's why probably Bilal's sulking, because we're blocking his move. But I think that's the only part of the business I think we've been doing well. But we've got to go in this weekend and go ham and get at least 2 players, especially a striker.
Yeah, I agree with you. It sticks out like a sore thumb, doesn't it? We need a forward.
Andy said, hasn't he? We need a bloody striker.
We do. I mean, I use an honest player, and he's an honest 7 out of 10 player every week. And he will scuff, skip, slide, goals in the net. He's not going to score any worldies, but he's a solid. He's a solid player. But he's also at an age where you're not going to be able to rely on him for the amount of games in the Championship.
No.
If Patson Daka was more of a kind of more in contention than he is, you think you'd rotate him, but Yeah,
His finishing is so poor. His work rate and his effort is 10 out of 10. It's just is like it's like when you're a kid. There's a sports day. They come last every time. You hug him and kiss him, saying you did a great job. But in reality, you think they're shit.
yeah, he's a nice lad. He means well. He works hard, like you say, but he just hasn't produced the goals. And his radar seems to be all over the place in front of goal. So I agree, we need one. That's the minimum for me between now and the window shutting. That we need a striker. You know, and let's just hope that El Canoes now will settle down, that the offers will waft away, and you know, if we can get his headspace right and we can get him focused on playing for us this season in the right way, because I don't think he's been himself this season so far. I think there's been too many rumours, and his agents, no doubt, been whispering in his ear about all sorts of Premier League clubs. If we can get all that put away and he can get on with it, I think him and Fataru can do an immense amount of damage in the Championship.
What do you think about Mavididi? Because he wasn't even in the squad at all. There's no rumours of him being injured. Do you think there's a reason? But I've not seen any rumours of him being heavily linked with another club. I don't know why the reason he was dropped.
It was a minor injury, according to the manager,
Right.
and he's going to be assessed, I assume, today to see if he's fit to play tomorrow. So it's supposed to be like a minor strain of some sort. I did wonder at the time whether that was actually something else, but I think it turns out that it's genuine.
But if that's the case, considering that Mavridi's been out, Fataru and who was I forgot who the winger was. You remind me, got Baker
down the left,
Monga. Like that's not a bad rotation, is it? We've not bought anyone yet. We've got Monga is, you know, he scored a great goal against Preston yesterday. We didn't get anything from it, but he scored a great goal. But with Mavididi out, we've still got rotation. We haven't even bought anyone yet. Nick says we need a striker, a centre mid minimum. Bilal can go, Winks can go. We may need a centre back. I don't agree with Winks. I really don't agree with Winks. We need Winks. I think Skip in that position is useless, but I think we'll get rotation.
That Skip thing's an enigma, isn't it? Because he had a great season for Norwich when Tottenham loaned him out in the Championship a few years ago. It's an odd one, that. He looks like his head's all over the place to me. I don't know what's up with the lad. It's a strange one, that, because he clearly had ability. Someone said to me a couple of weeks ago that apparently he picked up a really nasty injury at Spurs and he's never been the same ever since. It does make you wonder whether he's protecting something.
Well, a lot of players do that, don't they? Like when Mads got injured at Newcastle, every Leicester fan knew that he wasn't the same player when he came back from injury. Either he was rushed, whether he was hiding it, he wasn't the same player. And look at him at West Ham, he's gone to a new club. He's letting 5 goals against Chelsea. I watched Chelsea fan cams, the West Ham fan cams, they all thought he was crap. So I was obviously wanting him to do well, but when players often hide an injury or come back from an injury, sometimes they're not the same players they were.
That's
true.
True.
What was you gonna say?
Go on, mate. No, let's do armchair jockey's comment.
Mavididi was like one season wonder. I think he's been good. I think he's very good at going past defenders. I think he's very good at jockeying them and going around the outside of them, going down the ball line. I think he's very good at that. I don't think he's a one season wonder. Yes, he's not scoring as many goals as he did when he first joined, but I think he's crucial in, like for Tara did against Charlton. He's had that extra bit of flair.
He's an on form, off form player for me. Some weeks he turns up and you just think, blimey, this guy he's amazing. And then another week he looks off colour. I don't know what it is with him. He either has good games or mediocre ones. And there's times where I sit in the ground where he's in front of me going up and down the wing. And you'll see him start to almost choke at going around the fullback, like he's lost, like the confidence in him's been drained out of him during the game. And he's playing sideways or backwards and not taking the fullback on. I think he's a confidence player, and I think when he's in the right headspace, he's as good as anything in that league.
Well, when you've got, he said another comment from Jockey saying he's very top of Fataru. We've got 2 wingers. Fataru's come back from a long injury. We've got Monga coming in, we've got 2 wingers who every Leicester fan is loving at the moment for Taru and Monga. I think he's struggling to try and find his own limelight again, trying to get back into the team.
Yeah, I mean, it does in general, not Mavididi included. With some of the players, for me, it does feel a bit like a hangover from last season. Some of it, like we got beat a lot last season. Let's be honest. It's very rare that we actually turned up and got a win, and I don't think in my opinion, we didn't beat anyone convincingly last season. Probably Tottenham away was as close as we got to actually giving.
West Ham with Rude when Rude came in.
Yeah, but they had 35, 36 shots on our goal during that game. It was like the Alamo. I mean, to be fair, it was both in that game, the Arsenal game towards the start of the season, etc. It was Mads Hermansen that saved us from a bruising. I feel sorry for the lad, really, because it looks like he's going to go through a similar season than he did with Leicester last with West Ham this season. And on top of that, just going off down a little bit of a side comment, Russell Martin's really struggling up at Rangers, Jono, and Potter's really struggling at West Ham. They were two people last season and the start of this season that were heavily linked with us. I think, for me, we dodged the bullet with both of them, and I think actually we've ended up with a better manager in Cifuentes than the pair of them.
I think Cifuentes, as you've said, some players' heads have been, turned. We've had lots of the teams constantly being changed. We've had lots of players being sold, uncertainty around the club. The fact that he's getting these players to play like they are under the circumstances is really impressive. Like he's trying to implement going into each game week, not knowing what team you're going to have. Is it the same 11 as last week? Yet trying to play the same style of football is really impressive. Like if we lose tomorrow against Birmingham, and if we lose, even if we lose badly, like I can't really put it on him because the cards he's been dealt with is really difficult. What the job he's got is really difficult.
It is tough. It's with all of the damage that was done last season to that squad in terms of just mentality. They got kind of pulled from pillar to post between Cooper and Van Nistelrooy. I can't see Van Nistelrooy getting another job management wise. I just can't see anyone. Certainly not a club of any standing. They'd have to go down a level or two to get a job again because he damaged his reputation no end last season for me as a manager, and he just showed that he was woefully out of his depth in the circumstances we were in at that level. So the players had a torrid time, and they must have sat there at times just thinking, "Blimey Moses, what on earth are we being told?" But ultimately, Cifuentes has got to pick the pieces of that up. And I saw a little video of the training today, and you can see that he's doing a lot of kind of fun, light-hearted stuff in training. Trying to get the players to have a bit of fun and a bit of laugh and a joke. And I like that because I think that group of players definitely need that cloud. Yeah, they need that cloud lifting away from them and to build again and get that damn window shut so we can start moving on.
Well, James has said, what we're seeing them tomorrow then? Well, tomorrow we kick off against Birmingham City, East Midlands rivals, who have been absolutely flying in the Championship after coming up from League One. The team has spent loads of money after coming up. This is, I think, the first proper, real test for Martí Cifuentes. A team that's in the top six, fighting for another promotion. I think this is going to be a really, really. I don't know what Leicester's going to come out. Thankfully, it's at home. But I think we've got more chance of winning when we're at home. But this is going to be a tough ass, isn't it?
Yeah. So you told me, I didn't know this, but you told me before this that Cifuentes has said in the pre-match press conference that El Canous is available for tomorrow night. So that's interesting straight away, because he now needs to judge whether that man's in the right state of mind to take the pitch or not at this stage. Birmingham City have obviously got a lot of money behind them. They've got big American investors. They've spent money. They broke on Stansfield. They broke the League One record when they signed him. He's a very good player. I've watched a little bit of Birmingham this season a couple of times, and they're high tempo, they're high pressing, they're passionate. Obviously, it's Rodgers' ex-assistant manager at Leicester as well that manages them, Clements or whatever his name is. So, that there'll be a little bit of history there for him personally. It's a Friday night game. It's a local derby. It's absolutely geared up to be a blood, guts, and thunder game tomorrow night. I'm optimistic about the game we're going to see. I think it'll be a lot more entertaining than the Charlton game last weekend. And it's close. If you look at the stats, there's not much in it between Leicester and Birmingham. Like if you actually look at what we've both done so far this season. So I think it's going to be a good one, Jono, for me.
I want it to be a close. When I say I want it to be a close game, I don't want us to just. If we played like we did against Charlton, I think we're going to lose. I think we've got to be more creative. We've got to be more forward thinking. I think we've got to find better ways of breaking down teams who play a low block, and we've got to do better at counter attacks. I think that's our only downfall at the moment is responding to counter attacks. I think we get counter attacked very easily. I think we need to fix that problem. But if I trust Cifuentes to come up with a system that prevents us from being able. I like a system where you build up play, get up the pitch quite quickly. But I trust him to come up with a system to stop us from getting counter attacked.
Yeah, I mean, I'll throw a curveball at you. Ricardo Pereira now must be fit. Yeah, I mean, he came on off the bench on the weekend. He was
brilliant honestly, he saved us from losing. He was brilliant when he came on, Ricardo.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't think I'd argue with any Leicester fan that said that Ricardo Pereira's not given 100% every time he's gone on the pitch for us, because I think he's been an absolutely outstanding servant for the club since he's been there. However, I think we'd also both agree that Hamza Chowdhury brings something to that team. His commitment, like you say, he's a talker, he's passionate, he gives nothing. So, question for you. If Ricardo's fit, he goes in at right back. Do you put Hamza Chowdhury in midfield tomorrow night?
Chowdhury and Winks. That's it. Chowdhury, Winks, and El Khanous and Sakam. That's it. That's my midfield. I can't see... Chowdhury was so good against Charlton. Mental, in terms of a mental, backing for the players. I thought he was brilliant in that aspect. And Winks has to play. He's better than Skip in every possible way manageable. That'll be my midfield. What about you?
I'm on the same page as you. I don't like the way Winks is behaving, but there's no doubt when he comes on, our performances markedly improve. Samare's stats on Saturday were excellent, and I picked up a little bit of an interview with Bergovic, our keeper, on TalkSport yesterday, where he was alluding to that he thinks that Samare is the best midfielder in the Championship. I didn't see that on Saturday. Whilst his stats were good, I thought our midfield was mostly absent during that game. It didn't really contribute much. So I'm with you. I'd much rather see Winks, and I would absolutely, as the disruptor, the one that sits in front of defence, put Chowdhury in there, because I think he brings something to the team in terms of attitude as much as anything else.
I'm going to throw a curveball at you. Nick said Ricky in the middle, Hamza right back. Do you think Ricky would be better running down the middle of the pitch with the ball and have Hamza at the back as a right back as a more solid player?
I absolutely think, Nick, it's an option, yeah. I mean, whichever way you cut it, for me, if they're both fit, they both need to be on the pitch.
If one's working, great, but if you have Ricky at the right back and he's getting out muscled every time, go right, okay, I'll just swap it. He has the option to swap it. So,
well, you could interchange during the course of the game for different phases of the game. If Birmingham were having a spell, then just go, just charge a bit deeper and get some cover in. It gives you some flexibility.
Well, George says play Hamza in the midfield and Ricardo inverted right back. Cifuentes has got a lot of decent options. This is the tactics he's got to deal with. He's got to deal. Luckily for us, Hamza can play in two positions. Ricardo can play in two positions. It gives us more options, and it gives Birmingham's manager, what his name, more headaches. How are we going to set up? How are we going to use our players? Are we going to play inverted? Are we going to play whatever? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and for me, if Chowdhury gets dropped to the bench tomorrow night, it sends the wrong message. He doesn't deserve to get dropped.
No.
Yes, Ricardo needs to play. I agree. He improves our team by playing. But for me, the midfield is where we need to sort things out. And if we're going to if we're going to bring Ricardo in, then either Ricardo midfield, Giorgi right back, or vice versa. One or the other for me. They both need to play.
I think this comment is actually really not this one. This one. I think we need a midfielder that just get like we all know Hamza because he'll get booked tomorrow. There's no doubt he'll get booked tomorrow. But I want him to leave something on players. I want him to just make his mark, hit straight, and we go, I'm here. You can't piss around in midfield. You know, make a mark, put a stance on the game. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to be pushovers.
He's passionate, and he's passionate about his football, and he's passionate about Leicester City. It's where he grew up. It's where he cut his teeth. It's his club, and I like that. We need more of that in our team. People that care from the heart about and not accepting other people not putting in a shift. You know, it's one of them. I mean, just on another note, we've got a couple of questions coming in here, Jono, about the 10 role. Obviously, we mentioned earlier that El Khanous is available. If he's available, even if his head's not 100% settled, Jono, do you start him tomorrow?
If his head's not straight, then I play Mavadidi as a 10. Then I play Mongo on the left, Taro on the right.
Fair enough.
And then Daka, then Ayu at front. That'll be my front four. If El Khanous turns around and said, right, yes, I would like to have moved, but I will get my head right. I'll focus. El Khanous goes in straight away. But I would prefer Mavadidi as a 10. I think Mongo and Futaro are much more creative in the wings. And Mavadidi, I don't think Mavadidi is as creative as those two. So I have Mavadidi as a cam, Mongo on the left, Futaro on the right, Ayu at front.
And would you play Deadly Daka, Jono?
Yes, I would play him. I would play him if we're running out of ideas. I'll bring him on. Why not? If we're losing the game, definitely bring him on.
I mean,
even though he's not clinical whatsoever, but what he does do it's happened twice this season so far, where he's caught the keeper off guard. The keeper spilled the ball or missed pass because Daka's put the pressure on. One day that could go in our favour. It hasn't yet, but it could do. He may not have the clinicalness, but he might have the ability to cause discomfort, like what Vardy used to do. Just run at defenders and just make mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, just when you hark back to those early days of Vardy when he was in his prime and he couldn't stop scoring, I think sometimes I sit and think about that and the way he used to press and tackle. You know, as soon as the keeper rolled the ball out to a defender,
he was there.
So he was on him. He was trying to win the ball back. He was tenacious. Obviously, as he got older, he had to kind of temper that down a bit. But we need that again. I feel like sometimes we need that. I really wish Daka would bring that, because even if he wasn't that prolific, if he forced the defence to make mistakes by being physical and pressing from the front, not only does it set the tone for the rest of the team, it also it makes the goalkeeper think twice about rolling it out, because you're thinking, Christ, Daka's going to be all over him in 5 seconds. You know, and it puts that pressure on and it starts to unsettle. I don't know. I desperately want that. I've always wanted that lad to do well, but it's an enigma, isn't it? It just drives you crackers.
It is an enigma. Well, Nick says, Bilal Preston to go on strike. I'd rather have Ayu as a 10, Daka up top. Is that an option for you?
It's happened, isn't it? When Daka comes on with half an hour to go, it's Ayu that drops into the 10 and Daka goes up front. I don't think Ayu's that effective at 10 for me. You need someone a bit tricky with a bit like a El Khanous stroke Mahrez, whatever, type player who's got a bit of a ability to go round a player and create something. That's not Ayu for me. Sorry.
No, it's not. No. Well, before we end the stream, we'll go through score predictions. So this will be the hardest test we've had this season. It'll be the very good team. I know they came from League One, but as you said, they spend loads of money. I think this is going to be a very close 2-1 to Leicester. We're not going to keep a clean sheet, but I think Futaro will have a masterclass.
It's another Fatawi wonder goal for you tomorrow night, Jono, is it?
I mean, he scored one already. The one against Charlton was just bellissimo. I think he's going to do it again.
I love your optimism. Yeah, it's going to be tight. I agree. It's not. No one's going to win this by a country mile, in my opinion. The stats and the numbers scream draw when you actually read it, or when you think, "Oh."
Hardy says 2-2 draw. Chrissy says 3-0 to Birmingham.
No, that's not for me. But it just it's a hard-headed. My heart says we win 2-1. My head says it ends up being a 1-1 straight 2-2 draw.
No, we're not doing head and heart. We're doing one score prediction.
Fine, we win
2-1 to Leicester.
Yeah, then I'm with you. We're going 2-1 tomorrow night.
Yeah, we're not going to keep a clean sheet, but I think now the crowd has got to go. I know the crowd's upset and annoyed with the state of the club, with how it's being ran, but we've got to get behind the boys tomorrow, because those fans are going to be bloody loud. The away fans are going to be bloody loud. We've got to do this. We can't just sit there and be quiet like we've done in the last 4 years. We've got to be loud.
Yeah, it needs some coherency, doesn't it? It needs some coherency on the pitch. It needs joining up. We need the likes of Faz to start swearing at the fans when he scores, and that don't help matters either. Or the players coming out and going, "Oh, get behind the team." Well, give us something to get behind then. It's kind of reciprocal, isn't it? Yeah. The fans respond to the performance. I've got a funny feeling tomorrow night's going to be a bit of an electric atmosphere. I think it'll be a good one. I'm looking forward to it, John.
I am too. Well, thank you all for putting in your comments. Don't forget to follow us on all of our socials down on this little bar below. Thank you so much, Simon, for joining me. It's great to have you back, and hopefully us two will be together for the majority of the season coming up. Hopefully we've got no more stuff happening.
No, nothing planned my end, mate. The poor viewers are stuck with me and you now for the rest of the season.
There we go. Well, thank you all so much for watching. We've got a show. We'll have a aftermath show on Sunday talking about the game. We'll have Phil's show on Monday, and then we'll be back. We'll have a tactics talk as well. But thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors: Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow us on all socials.